Because a lot of people that do drum mixing are drummers.
Yeah.
And you can tell that on a recording. When a drummer is doing the mixing, but when a guitar player does the mixing of the drums, it tends to be a little more balanced, in my opinion, coming from a guitar player here. But
Hot takes from Hunter Hutchings.
might be biased. But
Yeah, tell us if you disagree with that in the comments.
I'll never find a drummer again.
Talk about a scene, it's what we're doing. Come and check it out, it's what we're all about. 561 Music!
Welcome to 561 Music. My name's Ben.
And I'm Hunter.
How's it going, Hunter?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself? Had a good New Year?
Yeah, man. This is fun. You've taken Hector's slot in the intro there.
I am, man. I'm a regular here now. Ended the last year, begun the new year.
I know, right? So, before we get into what I did this weekend, we have a little bit of a funny story about like what happened over the weekend. So, why don't you tell it?
All right. So I know last week we were talking about like you guys picked up a last minute gig, and I was like, oh yeah, that sounds nice. I tried to do the same thing. You know, there's this little ranch party that my parents go to every year, and I was like, oh, we can play. We're available for the first time this decade.
Yeah.
It turns out they already had a band. None other than the Killbillies.
Yeah, it was us. And, Little Ranch Party is definitely the art of understatement.
They go pretty big out there.
Yeah. It was pretty cool, man. We had fun, man. And it's nice to it's nice to get a little bit of context about like your friends and stuff, you know what I mean? So seeing like your parents and like who they kind of hang out with, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
Yeah.
I think I was at my New Year's thing, and my mom texted me. She's like, do you know this band? I was like, oh yeah, I was on a podcast with them last week.
Yeah.
It's like, tell them they took my gig.
And then I thought it was a joke. I thought it was just you messing about, but we really did.
No, it was a joke. I was glad to have the first one off in a decade.
Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah, I got to actually have a nice dinner, and Sister Hazel was playing at our dinner of all people.
That's wild. What? How did that happen? What's going on
It
with
was
that?
a charity thing, and a lady that I shoot events for was putting it on up here in Gardens at Stage, and she was like, oh yeah, we have some extra tickets, would you be interested in joining? She always reaches out last minute to me.
Oh,
She gets some extra ones and doesn't want me to actually work, so...
Yeah, that's
like,
awesome.
Absolutely, first relaxing one. I got to sit and eat dinner and not perform, but watch other people do it. And I was like, oh shoot, I know them.
Was it like
that one song?
Was it like the proper band, or was it like acoustic?
It was a
set,
two-piece acoustic thing. Yeah.
Okay.
But it was still really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Was everyone singing along?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That's
They
awesome.
did like, a 30-minute set, and then some other band came on and actually played their song and their set too. And I think at that point, Sister Hazel stormed out kind of pissed. But there was drama after that.
That's funny. Did they do it on purpose, or was it just
They
because
did it
they
as
played?
like a joke, but like I don't know if they took it that way. But
Oh no! Oh dear, sorry,
maybe.
Sister Hazel.
I don't know.
Yeah, apparently don't piss off Sister Hazel.
I don't know. If you're in a cover band, don't play the songs of the cover band that you're covering is right in front of you.
It's fair.
Yeah.
It's fair. I think if it was me, I would have thought it was pretty funny, but I can totally
loved
understand people
I was
not.
like, where were you for the first 30 minutes?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So we played. Killbillies played Meg O'Malley's this weekend, and it's a great place up there. Have you ever been there?
I have not. No, I know you guys play there a lot, but no,
Yeah.
you have to do that. Where's that up? Jupiter
It's
area,
up
or?
in Melbourne.
Oh, Melbourne. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
it's a trek,
distant,
but yeah, it's worth heading up there though, because there's always people who. It's one of these places we play, and there's always like a bunch of people in our shirts, and like everyone's like
awesome.
into it. And, I think sometimes when you're a bit further away from home, like the band has a little bit of a different effect.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like there's something a bit different, and it doesn't just feel like you go and see them any day of the week. Kind of feels like a real band.
Yeah,
instead of
well,
from out
that's
of town.
when you're not oversaturated, and people are looking for you as soon as you come back to their town, and especially if it's at the same place, they make a point to go out there. And the same thing happens with us when we go down to Key West. It's like it's close, but far enough away where when you're in town, the locals make a point to come out and see you.
Yeah, exactly, and we really appreciate it, and the place is really cool. We're currently trying to figure out a sound issue over there, but that's really not their fault. It's the sound.
I've been
guy's
having that
fault,
issue
not
in Lake Worth for 20 years.
Yeah.
Not saying no names.
It's funny, I've talked about this on the podcast before, but it bears repeating. When we were out of Florida,
Yeah.
in the South, like in the sort of, you know, states like Georgia and stuff, all the sound guys we came across were amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
They were amazing. And I don't know whether that's like just random fluke or whether like Florida has a bit of a situation going on.
I just think everybody's tired around here.
Yeah, exactly.
Ready to retire.
Well, there's a lot of music here. Mm-hmm. You know, I know obviously there are really good sound guys in Florida, but I guess maybe they're just stretched a bit more thin because there's just so many places to play. I don't know.
Yeah, and places have been around for a while. I think some places, you know, the more north you go, the better gear they've gotten because they might be newer spots and stuff, or everything around here has been worn ragged and needing some fixing. So sound guys are at the mercy of what they got given. So.
And we're also that annoying creature, which is a band who knows how to do your own sound.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah,
because like. Because we always think we know better, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I can't help it. Because we spent so many years doing our own sound that in quite a lot of situations we do know better.
Yeah,
but in other situations we don't. We're just being dicks. But
oh, for sure. We always joke. It's like, oh, we could have run our sound better. Why don't we bring our system and stuff like that? But
yeah.
It's like that meme of Guitar Center. It's like when you walk in and they're like, hey, can I help? It's like, I know more than you do.
Yeah. Exactly.
No offense to any of our friends that work at Guitar Center. But.
Totally. So yeah, I played at Meg's and I also played at O'Shea's. And, you know, what's there to say about O'Shea's? We've been playing there for years. It's always fun. It's always busy. And, you know, it's a bit of a late night now. I'm getting on in years. But apart from that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's always crazy and fun, though. There's always a bunch of people out. And it suits our band. You know, we fit in with the whole aesthetic in there.
Yeah, that was us and Fat Cats we did last weekend in Lauderdale. And that one's still 3:30 in the morning. So you get home when the sun starts coming up from Fort Lauderdale.
3:30 in the morning.
I can't believe that we don't start till 11. That's when people go out in Fort Lauderdale, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's when I'm ready to go to bed.
That's wild. The 3:30 in the morning is the morning.
Yeah.
You know, that's just like, it's not, I mean, the sun comes up in about 45 minutes after that.
Yeah. It comes up every time I walk through the front door.
Yeah.
I can see it on my Ring alarm next morning when I'm waking up. Like, oh, God.
You know, I used to do that kind of thing a lot. I don't know if we do any gigs like that late anymore. Well, we get home from Meg O'Malley's now at about 2:30, 3.
Yeah.
So that's about the latest thing.
It still takes you an hour or two to wind down and put all your stuff away and take a shower and that. But.
Oh man, we sound like such old people, but it's
know,
true though.
I know.
It's true, you know. It's those late nights, they start to get to you after a while.
I know. I was talking with Jake Talkus the other day. I was like, man, I got to get on that coffee house gigs that you do. Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, I'm home by 7 o'clock every night.
Yeah, totally. That's it. He knows what's up, man. There is a man who is in control of his own life.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Golden Juicery is one of the places that he books. And
Yeah,
and I
I've
play
heard
there.
Great things about them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool spot, man. And I get to play there about. He has like a really large pool of musicians that he circulates in there. So I only really get in there once every couple of months, but I'm always glad to go there, man. Guy who runs the place is cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was just in like Jupiter Magazine or something, and a couple different ones.
Yeah, absolutely.
One's down south too, but it seems like he's doing great things.
Actually, Killbillies is in Jupiter Magazine this month.
Awesome!
Yeah. It's the culture issue, and we got a little special mention, which is we never get that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's so nice to get it. You know, it's just like wow. I was really really happy about that. It had who was it? Girlfriend Material.
Oh yeah, I did see they were in that too.
Yeah, and Mike Begliter was in there, and and us and. Just talks about all the different types of venues in the area and stuff.
That's good. Glad to see they're promoting the local music scene and different venues and that.
Exactly. I had this really cool gig for a while where I was writing for a magazine, but I don't know really what's happened to that. It just sort of seems to have gone off the boil. I think they're sort of in a down period, which is, you know what? I'm so busy that it doesn't really. It's not the end of the world, but I was enjoying it.
Yeah,
you know, it was
wanted
fun.
to see where it'd go to.
Yeah. Have you ever done any writing like that?
No, I was never one for writing or reading. For the most part.
Oh, I remember that.
I wish
the
so.
loose versus
I
loose
thought I was
issue.
a great writer, but my teachers did not. I write a lot on Facebook, but that's about it. Still getting grammar corrected on that one, too.
That's funny. Your mum was talking about that. She says, he's very passionate on social media.
That was my last year's New Year's resolution. I was pretty good at it, too. So cut back on that a lot.
You know what? I feel like I kind of do a similar thing where I'm on social media just a ton, and at some point, I just figured out I just don't rise to anything anymore.
Yeah.
It's because it got so bad.
Yeah.
With everyone, just
Yeah.
the whole thing, and people just at each other's throats, and I just can't. You eventually learn that it literally leads nowhere.
Absolutely. It's just
You know?
like, it's just not even worth the fight anymore. You know exactly the outcome. You know you can't fix the way some people think. You know, but
Yeah, and when I had Barney Boom from Sonic Boom 6 on here, we talked about that quite a lot. You know, just the rot of social media on society and the way that it sort of does away with nuance, and you don't get to, you know, everything's so polarized. You know, it's rough. They've just recently written a song about it, which is it's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, they're doing really good at the moment. Sonic Boom 6 are like back.
I know. I saw they were posting all the old photos you were in and stuff too, and I was like,
Yeah.
let's see if I can figure out which one's Ben.
Yeah, so I'm really happy about that because there's going to be a new release coming, the Nina's Yard Party.
Okay.
Nina's Yard Party, you got to come around and do some guitar. We got a remix to do.
Oh, absolutely. I would love to.
Yeah, we're going to be able to get on the new Sonic Boom 6 release.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, how cool is
Down,
that?
sign me up.
Yeah.
Always game.
So I'm super stoked about that, and I've been doing. I'm going to be on this album proper as well. Like I'm going to, you know, in a few different places, sax, and I actually get to rap in one song, which is
good.
I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Dusted off the old chops. It's been a while.
Yeah, awesome, man. That's cool. I can't wait to hear that.
Yeah, man.
It's so cool how you can work, you know, from overseas with each other and stuff these days.
Yeah.
How technology and, you know, socials and video chats and everything has made it so accessible to work with musicians around the world.
It has, and I think prior to this actually leads really well into the other thing. So prior to getting off the alcohol, you know, getting sober, it's not that I had resentment surrounding it. It's that there was just a blockage between me and saying how I truly felt to them about how I missed it, you know, want to be a part of it, and the thing, because the thing is, you know, I did miss it. It was a huge part of my life, and you know, I was sad about it, and I find it very difficult to express that to them in the right way, and I think vice versa in a way, and yeah. So anyway, I managed to, after getting sober, my relationship with them has just blossomed again.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
You see it from a whole new perspective, I'm sure, and can think clearer and speak clearer on how you felt, and that's awesome.
Exactly, and I also. You know, I have a lot more time on my hands now because I'm not nursing hangovers all the time. So actually, am useful to them. You know
absolutely,
what I mean?
absolutely.
I do have a couple of hours in the day to do some stuff. Yeah, so it's been 4 years. It was actually right at the end of last year. But I don't know whether this is a good or a bad thing, but I forgot, you know? It just kind of passed me by.
It's been so long, but you set it off like around New Year's, right?
Yeah, and I have a little thing on my phone that, you know, I used to look at when in early sobriety that kind of counts the days and all that, but I haven't looked at it in a while. And but yeah, I just suddenly realized today, and I was like, oh, I'll make the obligatory Facebook post about it.
Yeah,
it's not obligatory. The reason I do that is because prior to me getting sober, I would read those things. Yeah. And, you know, I wanted what they had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I saw it, and it just sort of made me feel like it was a possibility. Like people I know done it, you know.
For sure.
And so because I have a lot of conflicting feelings over posting that kind of thing, because you don't want it to come off like just like a big attention-seeking thing, you know?
Yeah. No, I think in the way you do it is it's completely selfless, and it does help other people. I remember seeing it, I think, when you were 1 year, and it, you know, I took it, and I was like, wow, you know, if Ben could do it, and I was like, I was going through a bit of a rough patch at the time, and I took 3 months off, and I felt great, and I had the counter too. Yeah. And I did it, and then you know, the time was, I'd done my time, and I got my clarity, and I love seeing people that stick with it, and like they found a new sense of self, and like I did for a time, and that's right when I bought my house, and I was like doing a little better and taking a break from the party life and things. Yeah. And from that, I've like learned to slow down and like when to say no and when to be a homebody these days instead of being the, you know, the nightlife all the time. And
and I think
it gave
me
me a lot more time to do what, you know, I loved and stuff like that, and have meaningful relationships. So
Yeah.
you helped spiral that a few years ago. And I think when you make those posts, a lot of people see that and they want to go out and get it for themselves too. And I know a lot of people in our circle are still going strong with theirs, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ricky
Totally.
and
Yeah.
all those guys and that. So it's starting to be a new thing. And you know, you start to think about it more and more, and like the more generational, I guess we're getting into the next section of it. It's like a lot of people are starting to drop the alcohol and do other things, you know, not so destructive, but find other vices in that, I think.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that I found hardest about it in the early days of it is that I'd been drinking and carrying on like that for so long that I didn't know necessarily who I was.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it took me a long time to like understand how to socialize.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I mean, I've constantly been there battling with an alter ego of just like, you know, you want to go and be the life of the party, but at the same time you wake up on a Monday morning, you're like, man, you know, I got to get myself together. I got bills, I got responsibilities and work and things like that. So it's just like, you'd be a different person from the weekend to the week of, you know.
And then it just started to blur into just being the bad person all the time. And then I was like, and you know, it's really Christy, my wife is, and my mum and dad, you know, were the catalysts more than anything else, if I'm honest. And the fact that they were there for me, you know, I talk to people about that sometimes, and I realize how lucky I am to have like supportive people in my life.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
Yeah, they make it, you know, so much more helpful. Like I know when I was trying, you know, to slow down for a bit, I had, you know, a bandmate that was, you know, went to a couple meetings with me and was like telling me like, you know, it's okay to like, let's have a board game night, you know, instead of going to the bar or something like that. And you know, you found other things that were fun and met different people, and you know, it's who you surround yourself with sometimes too, who's supportive of it and who's going to keep you going on it.
I said in that post that, you know, I didn't change my friends, and that is true.
Yeah, for sure.
But in a certain way.
And your job, you know, a lot of people think that, you know, it's part of the gig is drinking.
I have changed what I do with my friends.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, because like there's some people who, when it gets to a certain hour, I got to go home or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Pulling that now too. Thank God I got a wife. I'm just like, sorry, I got to get home, man.
Yeah, totally. And one of the big things that I learned through all of that was to have like an exit strategy.
Oh,
you know,
for sure. Yeah.
To know how you're going to leave.
Yeah,
that's I think one of the reasons why it gets difficult if you start drinking in a situation, then you can't drive.
Yeah.
So you're like, you know, then the monkey on your back goes, well, mate, if I just get wasted, it doesn't matter. Like, you know, and then,
right. You're already in it. Just win it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I don't know, but in the meetings and stuff at the beginning, it was a lot to do with for me. It was like, you know, planning how to conceptualizing what the evening would be before doing it, you know, and figuring out like, you know, when am I going to come back and stuff like that.
Yeah, the hindsight you start to get the older you get, I guess.
Yeah, and I got better at it too. You know, like now I don't have to plan it quite so much because I've got like a bit, you know, a different habit now.
Yeah. Exactly. But now you found a new love of music and everything, and all these projects and all that.
I was.
It's killer.
It wasn't that I was. It wasn't that I didn't want to do music anymore, but I definitely was
burnt out,
confused and burnt out and a bit jaded.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was a troubling time because I remember my dad said to me, you know, before all this, he was like, I don't even know what kind of advice to give you. You've never said to me that you're not sure about music since like, you were born, you know? He's like, I don't know what, like, you know, I don't think that you not being into music is the issue here. Something else going on.
Yeah,
because that's not who you are.
Don't blame that, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the out.
Yeah, so I, you know, he was right, you know, because as soon as I cleaned my act up, I was like, went to overdrive with the music. So.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, well, how long? Festival's on, what, 4 years now?
So these festivals, that's going to be, this one's going to be the third.
Yeah. So, you know, the math checks out. Maybe if you never quit drinking, there wouldn't be music festivals for all these great local bands.
Yeah, there you go. And actually, it's a wonderful segue.
Thank you. I worked on that one.
We can start talking about these bands.
Yeah, man.
All right. So, in case you hadn't heard, the 561 Music Festival number 3 is happening at Matthews Brewing on March 30th, and it's going to go from noon until around 11. And we're going to have 20 bands, just like we did the other 2 years. We're going to have 2 stages, and as soon as one band finishes, the next band starts. So it's just continuous music all day, just like, one of those like sort of competing reggae sound system type situations.
That's awesome.
One sound system goes off, the other one goes on all day like that.
You gotta have a really good sound crew.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Actually, some of the people that we had last year, are going to be here again. Like the Justin and Ricky and James and all these people. It would be impossible to run it without those guys. Like James is like I don't know if underrated is the right word. People don't know how good at sound James is.
Yeah, underappreciated, just unknown.
Yeah, totally.
I had no idea that was one of his talents.
Yeah. He's like a low-key, really good sound guy.
Yeah, it's our drummer for us. So.
Yeah.
The guy with the most gear still has to set up even more gear. So.
That's hilarious. So, all right, why don't we get into these bands then?
Let's do it, man. Some good ones.
Let's kick it off with, so the Bitter Blue Jays.
Yep.
Yeah, they came on the show, Brian and the gang. They're a fantastic band. Mm-hmm. Sort of like, I guess, garagey indie punk kind of situation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Have you ever seen them?
I've seen them a couple times. They're killer. They're such fun, to watch. They got some great sound to them. I always chat with Brian every time I see them play about his gear and stuff like that. I always geek over his pedal board. And I don't geek over pedal boards much, but he's got a pretty cool one. So.
Yeah. I remember that.
And some great guitars and stuff too. So every time I see him, I'm like, what you got there, bud? But no, they're killer, man. They rock out, and they're very up my alley with kind of garage rock, kind of flower rock indie sound and stuff.
I feel like there's, and in a good way, not in a bad way, I feel like there's quite a lot of that around lately.
Yeah, for sure. No, there's seems like a little bit of revival going on. I know there was one in the early 2000s. Now there's another garage rock revival going on. Like, other bands on this are heavy in that category too, like Billy and all those cats. But
yeah,
seems to be a bit of a scene building around it. It's still
Absolutely.
mixed with the punk and some of we still play some of their shows and stuff and throw some ska and stuff into it. But.
Yeah, no, but it's a good thing because I love that kind of stuff too, and also that kind of music. It has like big like crossover potential.
Yeah,
you know
for
what
sure.
I mean?
I just love anything with a high energy and raw sound to it. So very analog sound and high energy, and that's always been my favorite.
Totally, man. Well, listen, let's take a listen to it.
Absolutely, let's hear.
Just in my brain, think I'm losing touch. Seeing you around too much.
All right, that was Bitter Blue Jays.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. They rock out. I'm really looking forward to getting them on. The next band in the lineup here we got is Bear Maze. Now, they're super like sort of spacey, interesting, almost like
I would say like gypsy punk,
fuzzy,
kind of stuff.
jazzy, different directions, kind of like awesome gypsy. Like, there's so many adjectives you could use to describe this music.
You find them in New Orleans for sure, though.
Yeah, totally. It's really interesting.
Yeah, half our segment's going to be trying to describe these really unique bands.
Yeah, totally. By the end, we're going to have invented words. It's really thrumdily. I don't know. These guys are cool. Nick and Brian, and the rest, they're good good bunch of lads, and I'm really looking forward to seeing them play. And they came on the show too. They're real cool. And I don't know why I keep saying that. They've all been on the show.
Yeah, every band on here has, huh? Seems to be a pattern.
There are some people who are going to be on the show in the next couple of weeks, in my defense.
So if you want to be on the fest, you have to be on the show first.
Yeah, that's the idea, yeah. So it's not just we pick random bands. It truly is the festival of the podcast.
Yeah,
you know
for sure. That's killer. Keep it that way.
Totally, man. All right, let's give Bear Maze a listen then.
Yeah, man.
You didn't come to Florida on roses and love. Came here out of hate and spite. Born September in Detroit, just a curly haired thing. Grew up rough, dropped out of school when you were only 17. Just a lost soul, running every red light. You didn't come to Florida on roses and love. Came here out of hate and spite.
All right, that was Bear Maze. Yeah, I just laughed at myself because I went like this. All right, that was
So you got Bear Maze, bro.
right, yeah. All right, that was Bear Maze. Yeah, so this next band is actually the guy's name. He's called Brayton. And Brayton is the name of the band, but he's a kid, Brayton Russell, who he's really a very talented young man. I've known him since he was like, I want to say like 12 or 13, something like that.
Yeah.
And now, now he's an adult, and he's got this kind of amazing like punk aesthetic, and his music is pretty rocking. It's very rocking.
Okay.
But he also has like this very sort of futuristic production style.
Uh-huh.
So his music, even when he's doing punk, it kind of almost has like a slightly dancey feel.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he's a real don. He's made like a bunch of dubstep and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he's like a savant at production.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's that's
really
the total
sick.
package there. Some bands only get half the battle of that.
Totally. I was teaching him for a while just recently, actually last year. I was kind of like mentoring him a bit, and I'd do guitar lessons, but then also, a little bit of music biz talk and
cool.
and like some production stuff as well, because he's really going at it. Like he's going to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Sounds like it.
I'm not concerned about Brayton's rise. I expect it to be meteoric, and it already kind of is. He's got so much to balance at the moment. He's at college and stuff like that, but yeah, he's really good.
No, I can't wait to see that. That's. I was always like, I didn't know how to blend my interest in punk and dance music together, but I guess he's done it.
yeah, totally. And I'm trying to think if there is actually a song where they're both like that. I'm sure there is, because he does both very well. I'm sure there must be some stuff that's in the middle there too. But yeah, he's sick, man, and really looks the part too. He looks like Sid Vicious. He's great.
Sick.
yeah. All right, let's check out some Brayton.
Suppose
Okay, so the next band we have on the roster here is Suicide Bombers. Now, I didn't realize how good they were until last week. And I was blown away by them. They're the real deal.
Oh, for sure. I think the first time I accidentally caught them, didn't know who they were either, walked into Respects one night, and I think I probably have 30 cell phone videos that took up half my memory for a year because I was just so blown away. Like, everybody got to see this. But you guys
somehow don't.
Too.
I think the name is quite good, but you almost expect them to be some kind of like crack rock steady kind of like cider punk band or something, like, you know,
some Suicidal Tendencies like spin off or something.
Yeah, but they're not. They're slick as hell. They look like fantastic. You know, it's like really good music.
It's straight rock and roll too.
Yeah,
very surfy, rocky, bluesy kind of deal. But.
Totally. Yeah, the tightness was so No Name had to follow them at the gig.
You guys always choose some great people to follow.
And I was like, oh geez, how's this going to go? And the only reason that we didn't embarrass ourselves is we had like enormous like hometown advantage.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So we were okay. We didn't completely embarrass ourselves, but in any other situation, we would have been wiped off the stage by this guy.
It's like playing your homecoming game and losing, but still, it's your homecoming, so fuck it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they were they're sick, and I was talking to Sean about it. I have played shows with them in the past, but for one reason or another, you know, we were like at different ends of the bill, stuff like that. I never got to take a proper look at them, and I, as soon as I saw them, the very next day, I booked them for the podcast.
Yeah,
I was like, we got to get. I bought the T-shirt, got all the stickers.
Yeah, I got a really cool shirt of theirs from a while back too.
Yeah, I am a Suicide Bombers fan.
For sure,
they're legit, man, and no joke at all. You know, like I think the $10 ticket price is worth it just to come and see Suicide Bombers.
Absolutely. You're going to buy one of their shirts as soon as you do it, too.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. No, they're really good. Yeah. Let's give Suicide Bombers a listen.
Absolutely.
Grab my board, I'm going berserker. Hit the waves, I'm a suicidal surfer. Grab my board, I'm going berserker. Hit the waves, I'm a suicidal surfer.
Okay, that's Suicide Bombers. As I said, just a band that I absolutely adore. I think they're amazing. Yeah, and now the next band is... They're so awesome. They're so weird. They're
called Peculiar.
Yeah. It's the Zoo Peculiar.
Yeah, it's like going to a zoo for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, these guys, I still have the list of the talking points that they wanted us to read. I'm going to find it.
Oh, they gave you these for tonight?
It wasn't for tonight. It was for when they came on the show. It was just like this random list. It was like the Pietà and like Tuscany and like all these like things that they sort of half pretended they wanted to talk about, but half just wanted to talk about.
I'm sure they did.
I mean, they got the they walk the walk with all of that. They're not just sort of pretending. You know, that Zoo Peculiar are pretty peculiar.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you catch them at a venue and you're at a show and they're playing, not only are they going to keep you entertained on the stage, but off the stage too. Like have a conversation with any of those dudes. They're hilarious and they're great people.
They are great people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, super kind and fun too, and very knowledgeable.
Yeah,
I'll end up having conversations with them where I very quickly get out of my depth.
For sure.
They know a lot and. Sometimes I'll think I know a lot, and then I'll speak to some people like Frank and Rod, and I'll be like, I know nothing.
Yeah, I know. Rod knows every inch of music I could ever think of, and Frank, I don't know, man, but I can't remember half the conversations we've had, but I know they were very interesting.
Yeah, totally. And the clothes. I mean, the whole thing's amazing. The music is very interesting. It's not like anything. They're in my head. They live in this world along with the other like swamp punky bands like Everyman and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's just because more of a time and place thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Like the actual music that is all their own.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. It's such a fun break in a night too of other bands and stuff. It's just a dance and pretend like nobody's watching kind of thing. It's just, you can have fun and feel accepted at their shows.
Totally. You know, there's a handful of bands around here that, like, you know, if I'm not playing and exhausted and I found out they were playing somewhere and I could actually go, I would definitely go.
I always look forward to seeing their sets. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. All right, well, let's give them a listen.
Absolutely.
When we were young back in '85, we were only trying to stay alive. But you're just like your daddy, a peeping Tom. What do you want, baby? What do you want, baby? Step right up. How do you feel? How do you feel? What do you want, baby? Let's get a little lazy. Step right up. How do you feel? How do you feel?
We have a rather special sponsorship this week. My friend Stu, who I know from round and about in Jupiter, has an Instagram page, which is at Stu Says. So at STEWSAYS. And it is really just for dog lovers. Stu loves dogs, and he has an Instagram page which is just dedicated to the dogs that he meets on his travels. So you should go check it out. There's some really nice pictures of dogs on there, and become part of Stu's dog-loving community. I couldn't think of a more wholesome thing for us to be advertising, really. He is a supporter and a friend of the show, and he wanted to help us get our message out there, and we could give him this in return. It's just us letting you guys know that you can go and see beautiful pictures of dogs on Instagram at Stu Says. I've just been surfing through all the pictures, and there's some really cute pictures of dogs on there. I'm going to show some up on the screen now. Yeah, man, go check it out. Stu is a legend. He's one of the nicest people I know, and his Instagram is just a delight. He couldn't have picked a better podcast, really. My band is called Nina's Yard Party, which is named after my dog. And if you listen really carefully, you could probably hear my dog barking in the background. I'm a big dog lover. One more time, it's www.instagram.com/Stu Says. STEWSAYS. It's the end of the year and it's time to get those taxes done. We all hate doing it, but it's just something that needs to get done. You can call Mary at Harmony Management Group and she'll make it as painless as possible for you. For the past several years, Mary has become the go-to accountant for the scene's musicians and artists, and really any small business. Need help? Give her a call today at 561-420-5652 or visit harmonymanagementgroup.com. Now, I can personally say that Mary is an absolutely wonderful accountant, and she understands firsthand the world of artists and musicians. She's been a huge help to Killbillies, and we are so proud to have her as a sponsor because she really cares about the local music scene and the local art scene. If you need help with the paperwork side of any small business, Mary has got your back. Again, the way to get in touch with her is 561-420-5652, or you can visit harmonymanagementgroup.com. We are also sponsored by Oasis Root. Now, Oasis Root Carver Bar is in Seagrape Square on Indian Town Road, and it is a carver bar. If you don't know anything about carver, it's a Polynesian root that you grind up and you mix with water, and it has been in Polynesia for potentially thousands of years. It's an old thing that they used for kind of ceremonial and also sort of leisure purposes. It's meant to be something where, you know, that brings people together. You all take a shell of carver and chink them together and say bula and have it together like that. It's meant to be something to bring people together. It's has a kind of an effect, which is, I guess, a kind of a slightly warming effect. It just kind of makes you feel nice. It's not particularly intoxicating. It's not like drinking alcohol. So the atmosphere in a carver bar is sort of like a cross between a regular bar and a coffee house. It's pretty chill in there. You get all sorts of different types of kava bars. Some of them are more like a club, you know, there's sort of like blacklight and EDM playing. And some of them are more like a cafe. This is one of the cafe type of ones. It's super chill in there. If you're looking for somewhere to, I don't know, maybe go and do some work on your laptop or go and have a chat with friends, it's perfect for that kind of thing. There's a foosball table in there if that's your jam, or baby-foot as they call it in France. And yeah, Jim, the owner, is a really cool guy, and he has very kindly sponsored our podcast. So thank you very, very much for that, Jim. They also do a poker night in there, all sorts of things going on at Oasis Route Kava Bar. 561 Music is sponsored by Live Music Community. It's where we film the podcast that you're listening to right now, and it's also where I work. Gavin, Hector's son, was a student here for a long time, and in many ways he's the musician he is today because of the teachers at Live Music Community. We taught him not only about his instrument, but also about being in a band, and his band, Unemployed Youth, accomplished a lot of goals, mostly band etiquette, how to work together, and all of the nitty-gritty that goes into being in a band on a day-to-day basis. The student signs up for lessons, learns their instrument, joins a real band, and decides the direction it goes in. And we can take people from very young age, 6 or 7 years old, all the way up to 80. There's no age limit here. We run an adult program for people who want to be in a band as adults, but really the main focus is on the kids and getting them playing together and in bands. We are also a studio, a live stream venue, and we can record audio or video. The Killbillies live album, Warts and All, was recorded here. It was recorded during a live stream that we did during COVID. Justin had a great idea to record live streams during COVID. A ton of bands came in, and it was a real success. But outside of that, we can record albums, we can help you with your EPK, and we have full audio-visual capabilities here. LMC is in Palm Beach Gardens on the northwest corner of Military Trail and North Lake Boulevard. It's north of the gas station, right before you get to North Lake on Military Trail. And if you go to livemusiccommunity.com, you have all the information you'll need right there. Thanks.
All right, that was our sponsors. And now on to the next band. Okay, that was Zoo Peculiar. And the next band's, friends of ours and bandmate of yours and former bandmate of mine, Billy Doom is Dead.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they're a real hot ticket these days. They've really created a following and,
Oh, yeah.
like, I think down here it's... if anyone, if a band is on anyone's lips, they're very often them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and they're really good, and Billy's a great guy, and they all are, they're friends of mine, and
most of them are. Just kidding, they're all great.
Yeah, and they're the real cool band, and it's it's like they look great, they've got the fashion on lock. I know they'll be glad to hear me say that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They got the drip, as Billy would say.
Yeah, there you go, yeah. and the music's really cool, and we're all just desperately waiting for some music.
I can't wait for some recordings to come out. But yeah, man, they've packaged it well, and they fully delivered. The first show, I think they just took off from there once people got their eyes and ears on it.
Yeah, totally. I love the way that they're... The stage show works. They've got all those like 2x12s on stage and everything, and it just has this aesthetic to it. I don't know.
Andy went from not having 1 amp to 4 amps.
Yeah. They're
he's listening.
Really good. And now they have a guy on Nashville tuning as well.
Yeah.
Which is that's interesting. Man. That's something really cool. There's a few interesting guitars like that floating around the scene at the moment. Like Rocky's playing his baritone, and then
just how do we get heavier and heavier and sludgier with the tone? But
totally,
it's killer.
I'm really
Sounds
interested
so
to have you ever played a guitar in Nashville tuning?
I have not. No, I'm still trying to master the E-tuning standard.
I've always wanted one, like it's just a kind of like in the studio thing,
Yeah, I want to get a baritone like he's got on the wall in there. That's for sure.
Yeah, baritones are cool, man. Rocky's new one is awesome. He brought it around my house. I messed around with it.
What's the Nashville? It's like a
Nashville tuning is like it's tuned like, as far as I know, it doesn't have like the low E on it. It's tuned almost like to a chord. It's just this kind of, it sort of riches everything up. It has the same effect as like using a 12 string. It just kind of beefs up the chords.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're really cool.
I'm not 100% sure if it has more strings on it. I don't think it does. I think it's a normal amount of strings, just tuned in a way that really fills out the guitar sound. Like,
cool.
You wouldn't maybe just play it, it's like something to add with other guitars.
I'll definitely have to pay more attention next time I see them play.
Yeah, super cool. And all right, well, let's take a. I'm not 100% sure we're going to play in this spot, but I'll put something out.
We can find one of their recordings.
Yeah. Let's check out some Billy Doom is Dead. Okay, so that's Billy Doom is Dead. Now, Mab Mellow is the next band we got on the bill, and I started booking them on shows over at Double Rose when we had that night, with the help of Ricky. Like Ricky sort of organised that, and I've known Emily. She's been coming to shows for a long time. She's really super nice girl, and she was a fan of No Name Ska Band, or at least used to come and watch us play.
She's always at the reggae shows and always selling some great jewelry and stuff like that, helping to run merch and things like that. But she's always been a real good part of the scene around here, I think.
Yeah, totally. And were you saying that like occasionally she'd get up and play tunes?
Yeah, once in a while she'd hop up and play with her, play the ukulele and stuff. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So now it's a band, Mad Mellow, and kind of islandy, Yuki kind of.
It's
chill
definitely
stuff.
Mad Mellow vibes,
Yeah, totally. I guess it does what it says on the tin. Yeah, totally. Well, I guess let's check out some Mad Mellow. They're going to come on the podcast in a couple of weeks, actually.
Oh, they got to before the festival. It's the
rules.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're cutting it a bit fast and loose then. We'll get them on. All right, let's do it. Okay, that was Mad Mellow, and yeah, really looking forward to seeing them in a couple of weeks and having them play the festival. It's nice, you know, new bands entering the scene and just slowly building all of this up, and especially her because, you know, she's been a part of the scene for so long. It's cool.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Now the next band we have is Young Fiction, and Young Fiction deserve a special mention because both Hector and I know them intimately. It's Gavin is Hector's son, a drummer, and I've in the past I wrote an article about them one time, and also Gavin used to come here to LMC at one point, and they're just a really killer band. I mean, Hector was saying, you know, it feels like they really could kind of break through to that next level. They have something where it's like they're just too much like potential energy to not work. I just feel like it's going to happen. They're on tour right now.
That's where Hector is, isn't he?
Yeah.
Over in California.
Yeah, Hector's helping them out with that and going to watch them play, and you know, Hector's been talking about that a lot lately. You know, how he can get sort of more involved in that side of the music biz, like, you know, just kind of as like a facilitator, kind of, you know, management type
for sure.
arena. Yeah. And yeah, we've even been talking about like sort of maybe trying to do something to do with the record label. I think that's still very much in the.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that's still very much just we said it one time.
So at least put out like a compilation or something.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's something I'm interested in. Just as like more and more of our friends have the stuff to make merch, the stuff to make physical, you know, albums, and places to record bands, you know, at a certain point, and also, you know, people like Danielle who are, you know, professional social media people.
Oh, yeah.
It's like all of a sudden, all of the puzzle pieces of what a record label is are just sort of coalescing a bit, you know. So I feel like
building around it. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, at some point the levee's gonna break, just as if I don't need one more thing to do.
You got plenty of time, man.
Yeah, but anyway, getting back to Young Fiction, they're really, really good. I had the honor of being involved in helping mix their next record. I helped mix the drums, and that was really fun. Just, you know, go back and forthing with Gavin. He's very professional. You know, he's a young lad, but he's very professional, and he knew exactly what he wanted, which made it really easy for me because, you know, when someone's like, well, I want it to sound like this, you know, then it's, he knew just what he wanted his drums to sound like, and all I had to do was endeavor to get there, you know. There was no guesswork.
That's nice though, when somebody knows what they want.
Yeah, for real, man, yeah. Actually, it's a similar situation right now with Tyler Kulik from Butch and the Fat Dudes. I'm mixing his drums at the moment, and it's very helpful. He's sending me, you know, this is what I want my snare to sound like, this is what I want the kick to sound like, so it gives me a starting point. Yeah. I've always found mixing drums to be, I was talking to Justin about it actually, and it might just be me, I don't know, but I've always found mixing drums to be the most challenging part of a mix.
For sure, there's a lot of pieces to it.
Yeah, and I just feel like there's a lot of pieces to it.
Yeah.
And it, for me, it like makes or breaks a record. Like if the drums are good,
and
you know.
I think it's, I mean, no offense to drummers, but I think it's better to have an outside ear doing the drum mixing, because a lot of people that do drum mixing are drummers. Yeah. And you can tell that on a recording. When a drummer is doing the mixing, but when a guitar player does the mixing of the drums, it tends to be a little more balanced, in my opinion, coming from a guitar player ear. But
hot takes or Hunter Hutchings.
Might be biased. But
yeah, tell us if you disagree with that in the comments.
I'll never find a drummer again.
That's great. All right, yeah. So let's give Young Fiction a listen.
Anybody could feel that way about me. It's all over. Hope you find what you're needing is what she said to me. But God, I really wish she fucking said. But it's all over. Hope you find what you're needing
Okay, so the next band we've got on the roster here, and these are in no particular order, by the way. It's just, just reading all the different people who are going to be on it, is Andy Styron. Now, Andy Styron, she's been on the show. We've been on tour with Andy Styron.
Oh, awesome.
We played some shows.
That,
a couple of months ago. She's really cool, and boy, oh boy, can she sing. Like, she has pipes on her. Yeah, it's no joke. It's like you think you can sing, and then you hear someone who really can sing, and you go, "Oh, okay, I can't sing."
Someone was born with it. Someone didn't have to work for it.
Yeah. She just got such a beautiful voice, so strong, and I feel like, as well, from when I first heard her to now, she's got like significantly better. It's like she knows when to really belt and go crazy with it, but she knows when to not, and it's not, it doesn't always feel like balls to the wall. It's kind of, I don't know, she has
get control.
Yeah, she's a very mature voice, and it sounds amazing. And the tour that we did, it was just her and an acoustic guitar, and she could totally hold it down like that.
Awesome.
Yeah, she's killing it. And but this is going to be her with her band, and looking forward to it. The band's great, she's great, and let's listen to some Andy Styron.
Let's.
So make me an angel that flies from Montgomery, and make me a poster of an old rodeo, and just give me one thing that I can hold on to believe in this living is just a hard way to go.
Okay, so the last band on the bill, I've never heard of this band. Could you tell us a little bit about this band?
I couldn't. I heard the bass player's a real dick, didn't show up to things. I heard that steal gigs from people on New Year's Eve.
I still can't believe that. Yeah, so Killbillies are going to play it. The reason we're playing it is because we tried to play it last year. We've never played it. And
you really haven't played it?
No.
I could have swore you guys played it.
We tried to play it last year, and it didn't happen because...
You've never played your own festival?
Out. Yeah.
Oh, we headline our own festival every year, 8 years strong.
Yeah, so this is going to be the first time Killbillies has got to play it, and I'm looking forward to it. We've been writing new songs. There's a whole load of new songs, and we'll definitely have some of those ready for 561 Music. It's actually a good goal, like a something in the sand to sort of say, we've got to get them ready by then. We played one out last weekend actually.
Awesome.
And they're getting a lot more. Hector has started writing songs for the band.
Oh, so killer.
Yeah. And that's a new development, and it turns out he's really good at it.
Okay.
And the songs
be awkward if he wasn't.
I know. Well, he comes at it from a different perspective because it's like a lot of this music is. I mean, he's always known about it, but a lot of it, in terms of being involved in it, is relatively new to him. And so he can come at it with fresh ears, and his ideas are just. It's like things that I wouldn't necessarily write because I would almost feel like. Oh, well, you can't do that, like that's too obvious or whatever. And then Hector does it, and it's like, oh, no, of course you do that. Because that's what it is.
Yeah, that's where he feels it going. And I mean, that's where generally anybody else but you would. So.
Yeah, no, he can see the wood for the trees a little bit more than me. And so I'm just delighted with the songs he's been writing.
It makes it way more fun writing with somebody, too. I know our last album that we all kind of took a little more collective and writing as a group.
Yeah.
On certain things, and it was fun to spitball off each other. And
yeah. Well, that's it, because Hector, just like with all the... And we talked about this at length on here, but just like with all of the Killbilly songs, an idea will come, and then we'll pull it apart and put it back together again. That's generally how we write in that band. And, I think it works for the better, Two heads are better than one most of the time.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear the new ones. I mean, the album was killer, and it's still glad I got that vinyl. I'm still playing it all the time. And
well, the idea for this album was that we wanted to write an album of just all bangers. We didn't want to have a single tune on there that wasn't really kicking. Because the album after that, we want to do like a bluegrass album and not even have the drums on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, before we did that, we wanted to make sure we got one out there that's just all like, shit kicking, like, bangers.
Oh, that's awesome. I can't wait for this one.
Yeah, man. So that's the idea for it. And yeah, we played one of the tunes out last weekend. Went really well.
Awesome.
So we'll have, hopefully, we currently have 4 new tunes, and, hopefully we'll be able to like premiere all of those tunes at 561 Music.
Oh, man. Well, I definitely can't miss it now. I'm not getting married this year on your date for it. So.
Oh, yeah, we didn't bring that up, did we? So, the unbelievable... I'm sure a lot of people listening to this will know because, it's mostly like our friends and mums who listen to the show. But, last year... it was Hunter's weddings on the exact same day.
Yeah, April 1st, April Fool's Day. I thought they were joking with me at first.
So like 99% of the scene wasn't here.
Fortunately, I invited them first.
I know, yeah, totally. Yeah,
but no, I've unfortunately had to miss it last year. But
yeah, but you got to be here.
It was for a good reason. I will be there this year, though.
Yeah, and I was hanging out with you and your wife at Propaganda the other day, and I hadn't really got a chance to speak to her at length. Lovely lady, you did great.
She's
there.
the best, man.
Yeah.
I knew right away.
Yeah, totally. I believe it. No,
Only reason I'd miss a festival.
Yeah. No, absolutely, and she does she's involved in like doing social media stuff and everything. So we were talking a bit about that. And she had lots of words of wisdom to say on this subject. And so I get it, dude. She's cool. I understand why you couldn't make the festival.
I'll be there this year, though. I swear. I think the last one I went to, I played in 3 different bands. So
there you go. That's awesome. Yeah. Are you on this one? I don't. We got to.
Nope, I'm actually just enjoying this one. I'll be there.
Next year we're going to do Nina's Yard Party, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And then maybe we can get, a spread back. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll do Nina's next time, but I'll be there. I'll be there shooting this time, though.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Do my other hobby.
Yeah, totally.
Which
you're very good at. You got some amazing shots.
Thanks, man.
I think that one picture of Keith. Yeah, I think I said it on the last episode, but that one picture of Keith just blew my mind, man.
So glad you guys knew him. I was like, I hope somebody knows this guy. He just looks like he's having the best time. There's confetti flying anywhere. I didn't even get the band. I was just so enthralled with him. I was just...
It's actually worth mentioning that the band that I'm in with Keith, recording project currently, but really... it looks like it's going the way of becoming something where live shows happen as well.
Some pictures started surfacing the other day.
Yeah. The first single's coming out at the end of January, and it's called Do What You Want, and it is, I was involved in writing and recording it, so I obviously think it's great, but you'll have to find out for yourself.
You're doing what you want, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So maybe the algorithms will play next year's 561
What a killer band name, too.
Right? Yeah. So I think it's hilarious. And we made this little character called Algernon, who's like a bomb head and stuff. It's very kind of like, I don't know, 90s punk. It has a vibe to it, It looks like a skate logo or something.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Like a little MXPX dude. You got to have your symbol guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's cool. You're playing your first 561 this year, and you'll be on like 4 bands on it next year.
Yeah, probably, yeah. So I've played 561 Music because I did No Name Ska Band. Yep. And also one time I did it solo as well. Mm-hmm. But it'd be nice to have Killbillies on it, man.
Absolutely.
Killbillies is my main squeeze.
Absolutely. I love you guys, man. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, dude. All right, well let's check out some Killbillies.
Absolutely.
We carved out a living with help from all our friends. I play music, Christy Welsh, she rents boats by the day. 'Cause round here no one cares much where you're from, just as long as you know right from wrong. Instead of who do you think you are, we say who do you want to be. Though it ain't easy, I'm out here sowing seed for the last shreds of a promised dream.
All right, so that was all the second set of 10 bands.
All right, I think we got through all 20 of them between the last year and this new year.
Yeah, man. So it's in no particular order. I want to stress that. It's Smoke Boss Militia, Blabs Cam, Sandman Sleeps, Butch and the Fat Dubes, 33 Lions, At the Starlight, Mount Sinai, Little Things Duo, Killed by Florida, Exigent, Bitter Blue Jays, Bear Maze, Brayton, Suicide Bombers, The Zoo Peculiar, Billy Doom is Dead, Mad Mellow, Young Fiction, Andy Steinman, and Killbillies.
Man.
Can't say fairer than that, can you? It'd be
That's
good.
a good lineup right there, man. For $10 too.
I'm saying. Yeah. And there's going to be, Hector was saying last week, not 100% sure if we're going to do the T-shirt and a ticket for 25 this time, but we may well. We're still just figuring that out. But, the tickets on the door and in advance are $10. And it's nothing. $10 is nothing,
Yeah, for sure.
It's like for a whole day's worth of music. Yeah. And it's at Matthews Brewing. It's on March 30th. It starts at noon. And you can find out more information about it at 561music.com. And if you go to 561 Music Podcast, that's the name of all of our socials. Easier to find all this stuff. That'll point you towards where you can get tickets and all of that good stuff. And next week we will have Hector back. And who knows? Maybe Hunter will still be hanging around. I don't know.
I think I found a shoe in here. Home away from home.
Yeah. No, it's been really nice having you.
It's been a blast being here, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah. No, you've got it. You've got like the, you got the news anchor vibe about you.
It was the mustache, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. All right, nice one, man.
For sure,
Appreciate it. Okay. See you later, guys.
It's what we're doing. Come and check it out. It's what we're